Aiden Fucci will learn his punishment tomorrow as a judge hands down his prison sentence. It comes after 2 days of heartbreaking testimony and evidence to determine whether he should spend the rest of his life behind bars. Fucci pleaded guilty to brutally killing his schoolmate Tristan Bailey in May of 2021. Another case that rocked Northeast Florida was vaguely mentioned during yesterday's hearing. You'll remember, if you've been around, 14-year-old Joshua Phillips murdered 8-year-old Maddie Clifton back in 1998. Phillips was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. His sentence was modified to allow review after 25 years. News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker joining us live. Marilyn, you spoke with the prosecutor in Phillips' case about how these two cases compare.
Yes, Jay Plotkin tried the case against Josh Phillips, who was resentenced to life in prison. In that case, the judge had to weigh many factors, including Phillips' age and maturity. And if you think about it, tomorrow the judge for Aiden Fucci will have to do the same thing.
Joshua Phillips, remember him? He's 39 years old now, serving a life sentence for the murder of 8-year-old Maddie Clifton. He was 14 at the time. So was Aiden Fucci when he murdered his 13-year-old schoolmate, Tristan Bailey. During testimony in Fucci's sentencing, a psychologist argued what Fucci did to Tristan wasn't unique and mentioned a horrible detail of Phillips' case.
This murder is not unique.
Juveniles who commit murders often do horrible things, set people on fire, put people into waterbeds.
I never saw a case that had the impact on our community that the Joshua Phillips, Maddie Clifton case had.
Jay Plotkin tried Phillips' case. He says Maddie's body was found in Phillips' home a week after she disappeared. She was murdered by her neighbor, beaten and stabbed repeatedly, then hidden under Phillips' waterbed.
Josh Phillips actually participated in the search around the neighborhood for Maddie.
Sound familiar? Fucci lived in the same neighborhood, went to the same school as Bailey. He stabbed her 114 times, left her body in the woods, and while showing police the route of the walk they took, he posted this picture asking if anyone had seen Bailey. In both cases, the mindset of the young murderer was questioned. Mental evaluations of Phillips didn't come out in trial, but during his resentencing, Fucci's attorneys wouldn't let him be evaluated in person. While showing much younger pictures of Fucci, his attorney reminded the judge to consider Fucci didn't try to hide the body, how over time his brain will grow and develop, his family history with mental illness, and his emotional neglect. Plotkin says, just like in Phillips' case, the judge will also weigh the severity of what Fucci did.
This crime, in my mind, and I think most likely in the court's mind, is going to be one where the court's going to say, I think life is appropriate, but we'll have to wait and see.
The defense wants Fucci to be sentenced to 40 years in prison instead of a life sentence. Both of those sentences would come with a review after 25 years. We'll learn that sentence tomorrow. And just for some more context, Phillips had a review 21 years after the crime, and the judge upheld his life sentence. Reporting live, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Marilyn, thank you. Tomorrow's sentencing is set to begin at 9 a.m. When the judge announces Fucci's sentence, we will have live coverage right here on Channel 4, News4Jax Plus, and News4Jax.com. Download the News4Jax app, turn on push alerts to make sure you get an alert telling you when this begins.